The Trout Creek Cabin is right off the Red Cloud and White Cloud loops in the Ashley National Forest. Now, I'd snowmobiled up here before and jeeped, but ATVing is a new experience for me. The smells and the textures of the forest just heighten your senses as you ride through streams and past inspiring views of the world below. We couldn't have enjoyed a better guide than Commissioner Mark Raymond. First of all, his enthusiasm for the area is totally contagious, just about like it is with everything he does. And second, he seems to know every inch of the territory. Better yet, he loves every inch of it.
You know, everybody has something that they're really proud of. I'm proud of the high Uintahs. It's such a beautiful place and such a great place to come up and bring your family and picnic or camp or hunt or fish. We just love it up here. One of the nice things about the Ashley Forest is we're very close to Vernal. We're 30 minutes away. You can be up here in the tops of the mountains in a very short amount of time. It's a beautiful forest, and there's forests all over the state that are wonderful and beautiful forests, but there's something unique about ours. We just love them. If you haven't had an opportunity or a chance to come up here and see this forest, boy, I would highly recommend it.
It really is something. Where many forests in the south are devastated by bark beetle infestations, the Ashley is quite green and striking. Now, this was Ria's first trip into the high Uintahs, and it definitely had an impact.
I was just struck by the beauty of it. The intimacy of a forest this massive just kind of blew me away. You think that when you come into a forest, it's just going to be all trees and you're just going to be kind of like, oh my goodness. But there's nothing like this up here. I mean, honestly, I have never seen anything this pretty.
One of the things that has always struck me about the Vernal area of Utah Highway 40 is the sheer number of activities. Of course, you have the prehistoric with the Dinosaur National Monument and the wealth of Jurassic adventure, but up here on the mountain, it's like the entire world is open to you, and you can explore it any way you want.
You know, if you're an older couple and you're kind of confined to your car, there's the Red Cloud Loop Road, and you can drive the whole loop road in a car. There's also areas of the mountain where you need a high clearance vehicle, the Anderson Creek Road. You've got to pretty much have a four-wheel drive in some of the areas where it crosses the creek and stuff. There's also ATV trails up here that if you want to get off the beaten path and see some of the more remote areas of the forest, you get on an ATV. We have very basic trails. We've got intermediate level. We have advanced trails. There's some that you probably shouldn't try to attempt unless you're an experienced ATV rider. You can come up here and snowmobile in the winters. It's just a great place to come and play.
And the Trout Creek Cabin. This is the perfect base camp for that play. You know, I first saw this cabin a few years ago and I just fell in love with it.
It's just literally a cabin in the forest that you see in storybooks, that when you were a kid that you read, and you're like, I want to go there, and now we're here.
Even with all the opportunities, the beauty, and the discovery here in the forest, land closure issues have reared their heads here as well. But like other state leaders who have faced the possibility of losing their public lands, Uintah's County Commission hasn't taken it lying down.
We've been working with the Forest Service on some of these issues. They have closed a number of roads, 1,000 miles in fact of the roads up here on the forest, and we're very concerned about that. We're trying to work through that issue and reopen some of those. I can understand why they might close some of them that are no longer used or go to an area that is already accessible by a road from another area, but some of them we'd really like to see them keep open.
While those fights rage on, they are all in the background of our minds today as we tour these evergreen lands on the cusp of winter's chill. Later tonight, Mark's family will be up to join us at the cabin, and it will be a Thanksgiving all of us will remember. You know, we often find ourselves running through life from one emergency to the next. I know I do. But there is something about a day on the trail with family and your best friends that makes all those emergencies seem so much less important. And that is the power of a day in the outdoors. That's the power of a life built on the trails of the West.
Trust me, you have to come up here and experience it, because it's one thing if they experience once, they're definitely going to want to do it again.
When you're at home and you're sitting down in front of the TV, there's just not much growth that occurs there. When you get away from the home and you get up here in nature, it does create a bond. It provides an opportunity for families to talk and to communicate with one another, to experience that bonding experience that seems like we don't have as much as we used to. It's such a good way for families to grow.
And after a day of riding, experiencing a sunset like this with your loved ones beside you, well, I just can't think of anything I'm more thankful for. From the ATV trails outside Vernal, Utah, I'm Chad Booth. Now back to the cabin with Steve.